Hi guys! Wow, it's been a while since we had this like sit down type video. How did I position the camera before? I don't remember. I hope it's not crooked. It might be crooked. I'm gonna hope it's not crooked, okay? So we're just gonna work with it. First of all, hi! It's been a while. How are you? Two things to mention before we start off this video. One, got a haircut, and two, got new glasses. This is a huge deal for me. Okay, so let's just jump right into this video. Not sure if you noticed from my last video, but the lockdown slash pandemic slash online school period was a challenge for me. It just was. Gonna be honest, it was probably the most challenging period of my life since like, I don't know, it's been a long time since I had that big of a challenge. And I just wanted to share a few things that I learned while doing school online. I figured I'd come on here and just like share a few things that I learned doing education on school during a pandemic. I don't know if it's gonna help anybody, but I learned a few things that I think are very important. And because of that, I wanted to come on here and just share them. So this is gonna be 5 things that I learned while doing school during a pandemic at home, you know, in isolation. The first 2 are very similar. It's related to health, your mental health and your physical health. Let's start with mental. Mental health is always going to be a very important area of life for everybody. What I learned is that it can really go off the rails if you're not aware of it. I am fortunate enough to be very sheltered in life, so mental health problems, issues, any area when it comes to the mental health field, I'm not very knowledgeable about, but I became familiar with a few things during this time of isolation, just education online from at home. So what I learned is that, it's very important to keep track of it. Burnout is a real thing. Anxiety just from anything is huge, and it's not something that I would have been aware of as much if I had, not gone through this like period of isolation. I'm not, like I said before, I'm not a advocate or a, person of knowledge to tell others what to do in this field. You know what's best for you. I'm just gonna say what helped me for my mental health was really keeping track of how I felt every day. If I woke up in the morning and I was like, today needs to be a slow day, I have a slow day. Obviously with school and deadlines, it's gonna be difficult. Thankfully, with the pandemic, most of my professors were very understanding, and if someone, if I did need a extension or something, they would be happy to, give me that. Thankfully, I didn't need an extension, but I was just, I was just very careful with what I did and not to burn out. I came very close to doing it a few times because it's all I did, right? I was at home. What else was I supposed to do besides studying? But it's just important to keep track of that. So number two, physical health. This is probably very obvious. Sorry, I don't have a drink of water. Physical health, the issues, it's probably very obvious. You need to keep track of your physical health. It's on the list because during the pandemic and during the lockdown, I lost track of it. I never had to worry about it before. I have what's called, and again, this is just for my situation, I have a very high metabolism. Well, not very high, that makes me sound weird. I have a higher than normal metabolism. So that means, what does it mean? I don't know what it means. From what I know, from what I understand, that means what I put inside my body gets burnt pretty good quickly. And that means I gotta, make sure I eat food Now, before the pandemic, or when I was going to school normally, this wasn't an issue. You know, I would burn a lot because I'd be walking, I'd be running sometimes because, you know, bus drivers. But yeah, I'd be walking on campus, I'd be, you know, doing all sorts of things. And I never had to worry about my physical health because at that same time I was also working out. I was eating quite a lot because I got hungry. You know, I was walking, I was working out, so my hunger was there. Also, I was with friends on campus, so every now and then we'd be like, hey, let's go grab lunch. Let's go grab a coffee. So I was eating with it, right? Which is good because I needed it. Here's the problem. Once we got into lockdown, all I was doing was sitting in this chair staring at a screen. And I still needed to eat food, but I wasn't hungry because, well, I wasn't doing anything, right? Everything stopped. So what resulted was I lost quite a bit of weight. In fact, I'm still trying to gain back the weight. So that's how much weight I lost, and it's not a good thing. It's very unhealthy, and this is something I learned from. And needless to say, I will not be repeating this mistake. This was one of the major reasons that I wanted to make this video, was because I don't know a lot of people who were in my situation, who had this, like, you know, you're perfectly fine, you're just doing your work, you stop walking, you stop going out, you stop doing things, and all of a sudden you're losing weight. Like, I feel like you see a very common story of people gaining weight because all they do is sit at home and eat, right? But for me, it was the opposite. I stopped eating as much as I was, you know. I noticed my meals getting smaller because I wasn't as hungry. And now I have to go through the work of slowly increasing my meals and, like, not wasting food and just, like, forcing myself to eat it because I know that I need it. So yeah, this is huge learning experience for me. And I hope others, you know that, hey, this could happen, so be careful. Okay, so those things weren't really about school, but they were important for the student. The next three things are going to be about school. So, number 3, your schedule. I don't know how to put this any clearer for you. You're at home, you're gonna have a lot of time. Don't waste that time. Put together a schedule. Now, I learned this pretty quick. It wasn't a huge issue for me. A schedule is what I need. I can't live without a schedule. I need to know what is happening at what time. It's just the kind of person I am. So I had experimented before with this 5 a.m. schedule. I actually made a video about it, so if you want to check that out, that'd be great. But yeah, so I woke up at 5 a.m. I, you know, worked in the morning. I knew what I was gonna do, so I was like, okay, so tomorrow I'm gonna wake up at 5 a.m. I'm gonna get X, Y, and Z done before lunch. Then I'm gonna have an hour and a half lunch break, and then after lunch I'm gonna get, you know, whatever rest of the things I need to get done. And then because I woke up so early, I would have the time to chill out a little bit, you know, like talk to my friends, play some Minecraft. All these things really worked well with my 5 a.m. schedule, so it was great for me. It's another huge thing that I learned, that a schedule is very important. It's even more important when you're at home, right? Times you don't have scheduled lectures. This might seem like it's a great thing, but I'm telling you, if you're not careful and you don't schedule things and you're not productive, it's a recipe for disaster. Okay, so number 4, teachers. Okay, this is gonna be more for students who are actively aware of your situation, what you want to go into in the future, and just how everything's, you know, gonna go. Let me explain that a little bit more. Connecting with teachers, TAs, professors, anyone else, you know, other students while you're in class, it's very important. It's especially important if you want to have things like reference letters or, you know, some connections. When you're at school, when you're physically, you know, at the campus, in class, these things happen naturally. You naturally go up to the professor and be like, hey, could you explain so-and-so? You raise your hand, hey, I don't understand this or that, right? They get to know you. tutorials. It's very one-on-one, even though it's 1-on-15, but it feels kind of like you're one-on-one because it's a smaller classroom. The TA knows you. You know, they know your work ethic. They know you hand in your assignments early. This makes connections, right? Which is good. It's very good because you're gonna need these connections later on. Well, when you're on an online environment, this literally, it's very difficult to do, and I learned that the hard way, right? I'm having a hard time, with these things because I wasn't aware of the extra push I had to do to make sure that these people remembered me. I would always email TAs and professors for questions naturally, but when you're in online format, you have to go that extra step. Again, these are mostly for like mature students, people, when you want to go on, do other things. For first coming new students, I don't think it's gonna be as big as a issue for you. You can still do it. It's great if you still do it. Even making that extra connection, it's just, your reputation is important, essentially. So yeah, it's just an important thing that I learned, and I hope others will take something out of it. Okay, so number 5, this was a little bit more chill. This is about making connections with your peers and kind of relaxing. Most people are really good at doing this. I know people who aren't, so that's why I put it on this list. When you're at home, you're isolating. Like me, some people like me are not only isolating from the outside world, I was also isolating from people in my family who had to go, to work, to school. So that makes it so much more important to make the connections with your peers that you had before going into the pandemic or going into online schooling. Thankfully, I had friends who I would talk to every day, almost every hour sometimes, play Minecraft with, because I had that extra time with my schedule, and this really just helped me like step back from school and step back from my other responsibilities and just be like, okay, empty the mind, you're gonna relax now, you're gonna chill out. And it's a lot more helpful than schedule that time to relax. Don't think about assignments, don't think about work. That time is your time to relax. And you'll find yourself being in a much better mindset, and mind, body, spirit, it all connects, right? So let's just set that time out to relax, and you're gonna find yourself in better shape. Okay guys, that's the end of the video. I hope this helped in some way. I've been gone for a while, and I'm sorry, it's been difficult with everything going on. I've been very busy, but I wanted to come back and share these things that I learned because I think they're very important and I think they can help others. So yeah, thanks for watching. Leave a comment if you have a question. If you have a question about things that I don't know, I really can't answer it, so I'm gonna link you to a advisor who can. I don't work for my school, I just talk about my experiences. So yeah, again, thanks for watching. Like and subscribe if you're new, and I'll talk to you later. Alright, bye bye.